Hi everyone, welcome to our 200,000 special live session that we're doing today. I would like to thank all of you for helping us achieve this feat because it clearly couldn't have been possible without you. It is such a huge milestone. I remember when I started our YouTube channel, I never even thought that we'll be able to reach this number. So the fact that 2 lakh of you have shown trust in me and have shown trust in this channel, it means a lot. And thank you so much for that. This number, 200,000 that we've reached, although has taken us quite some time. We had hit 100,000 last year, sometime in August, and I think that journey was quite fast. But just to share a personal story as to what was going behind the scenes at WiseUp, last 1 year, I was not able to be very consistent with the channel. Reason being, there was a lot of back end work that we were doing at WiseUp to strengthen the business, to strengthen the brand. The first project that I took up was rebranding, where earlier on, if you remember, we had a small brown color Wise Up logo that resembled an owl, right? So it was a brown color Wise Owl that we had as a logo. So we went for a complete rebranding. We got our new logo made, which still is an owl because Wise Up is being denoted by an owl, but it is much more modern, much more professional looking. So that took a bit of time. We completely redid our website. When I started WiseUp, I literally did everything on my own, where I also built the website from scratch on Wix. But as the brand was growing, as the organization was growing, I realized that, now we need a professional website and this wouldn't work. So then we got the entire website done, which again was a huge, huge task. And then after that, one of the biggest projects that I took up last year was redoing all our courses, refurbishing all our courses, and making them up to date with what is happening. I think last year, all of us have seen a major trend of AI coming up, right? And there is AI tool intervention in literally everything that we are doing nowadays, whether it is studying abroad, whether it is research, whether it is communication skills. So all the courses that we were offering at WiseUp, I felt that, the content is now outdated. If I want to do justice to my students, I have to redo the content. So I went ahead and I shot videos of my courses from scratch. Imagine my research course, it has 8 sessions of 1.5 hours each. And literally each session of 1.5 hours took me 10 hours of work. So almost one entire day of work. So it's been taken so much time for me to redo all these courses to make sure these courses are of good quality so that I can do justice to my students so that they are able to get the best help out of this. I think it's taken me over 6 months to do that, which is why I was not able to post a lot of videos on YouTube. I was quite inconsistent. And that is also the reason why you must not have seen a lot of videos coming up from my end. But I was not away. I was working at WiseUp and I was making sure that, we are able to put the best content out there. I'm almost towards the end of refurbishing our courses. I've completely updated the research course, completely updated the communication skills course, and recently just completed our study abroad course. And I'm so, so proud of the new content that we have. So if you guys are aiming for any of these, I would highly recommend you try out our courses, and I can guarantee that you will not regret it. So this is an AMA session, and I would love for you guys to share your questions with me. Any doubts, any questions that you have. It could be related to study abroad, research, communication skills, studying in Singapore. These are some of the topics I cover on the channel, or anything else as well, because I am here with you today, ready to answer all the questions. So please tell me. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Please help me to get admission for PhD in the US. Got it. So, Urmi, thanks for sharing this question. And I do get similar kind of comments on my videos as well. So I would really like to help you get PhD admission in the US, but I can't give you the degree, right? I can't give you admission in the college. So what I can do is I can guide you. So I've made a lot of videos on that already, Urmi. For example, if you want to get PhD admission in the US, you first need to shortlist your universities wisely, right? So how exactly do you need to shortlist the universities? I've made a video on it. What are some of the AI tools you can use? You should actually go on LinkedIn and you should reach out to the people from your college who are your alumni studying in foreign universities and speak to them and see how did they get admission. That will give you a lot of clarity. After that, I've also made a video on timeline for admission that will give you a guidance as to which month exactly what are you supposed to do and how are you supposed to prepare yourself for that PhD admission. Then after that, how are you supposed to prepare the admission documents such as your SOPs, LORs? I've made separate videos on that as well. Yesterday I posted a new video where I had taken a survey of students who actually got admission in the top universities abroad. 100 students I spoke to, and they gave me such great insights as to what differentiated them from other candidates. And some of those insights were that they planned really well. They paid a lot of attention to their admission documents. They did thorough research, and there are a few other points that I've shared. So, do all of these things, and it will give you that understanding as to how to get PhD admission. Apart from that, if you have any specific question, please post it here and I'll be happy to help you out. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for wishing me. Ma'am, can you please tell me if we've presented a paper in conference and submitted a paper in it, but after that conference will not publish our paper. So then can I submit in another journal? Of course. So Anjita, that's a great question. A lot of the times we do go to conferences, right, where we present our work, but it is usually up to the conference whether they want to whether they want to publish your work or not. Sometimes even when the conference agrees, you can still take a call whether you want to get it published in a conference proceeding or not, because publishing your work in a conference proceeding is always going to have slightly lesser value as compared to getting your work published in a journal. Okay, so if the conference is not published this, you can definitely go ahead and get your work published in a journal. All right. Then another question I have is, hi ma'am, my daughter has recently completed 10th IB board with 98.5%, and she wishes to join NTU NUS college in Singapore with 3 year or 6 year agreement or scholarship. So ma'am, that's great. And she can definitely do that. 10th, she's already completed. She needs to get very high scores in class 12 as well. And then, of course, she can apply to NTU NUS. Um, Can you please share some life lessons you learned till now, as many as possible? Thank you so much. Okay, so I think the number one life lesson that I've learned, especially after starting WiseUp, is that hard work never goes waste. I know it's the most cliched thing that anybody can share, but this is something that I have experienced at WiseUp. When I started WiseUp, I had nothing, right? Because I was doing a full time job in Singapore. I was earning good money in Singapore, and I left all of that up to start Wise Up. And first year, I actually did not make anything because we were just establishing base. I had just started the YouTube channel, it was not even making any revenue. My courses were not selling as much because at that time people did not even realize the value of building their communication skills. I think that has changed over the past 4 years, but I believed in this vision. I believed that no, what I'm offering is something really useful and people will realize its value, and I worked hard towards it, and it has paid in these 4 years. Definitely not in the beginning, but I continued working hard and it has shown results. And I feel that this is so important in everything that you're doing in your life. A lot of us, we give up midway thinking that it's not going to work out for us, or this is just taking too much time, probably it isn't for me. But if we give it enough time, if we give it enough practice, things will change for us, whether it is communication skills, whether it is research, whether it is studying abroad. I think it applies to literally everything we do in our lives. So for me, hard work has become my motto. I know that if I put in my hard work, people will realize the value and I will be able to see results. So I think this is my number one lesson that life has taught me and that I'd like to share with you all. Hi, good evening. All right, let's look at some more questions. I think I'm missing quite a few questions. You know what? I'm just going to take the recent questions now because I think I'm missing out on some of them. Okay. So Dhwani is asking, I'm currently in class 12 and I want to do my undergrad in Singapore. So which exams and how many exams I have to give? Again, a very, very common question that I get on this channel. So Dhwani, if you're in class 12 and you want to do your undergrad in Singapore, you don't really have to give a lot of exams. Majority weightage is on your board marks. So please perform well both in your class 10 and class 12 boards. Apart from that, if you want to give the SAT exam, you can, although it is optional. But if you do score well in that, then it gives an additional criteria for the universities to evaluate you. So when it comes to requirements, this is mostly it. Okay, so I hope that helps. Spandana is asking, ma'am, please suggest consultancies for masters in Singapore. So I've actually made an exact video on this, Spandana, which is like, what is the best consultancy for masters in Singapore? But if you actually go through the entire video, it talks about how consultancies are not useful when you want to study in Singapore. Probably it works for other countries. For Singapore, it's not going to add any value to you because the entire application process is fairly straightforward and you can actually manage it on your own. Please spend some time, do your research, go on the university website. All the information is given there and you will be able to tackle it on your own. If you have any doubts, any questions, I am here. You can ask me. What I do is I offer a 30-minute doubt clearing session as well, which you can join and you can ask all your questions to me personally in a one-to-one session as well. I'll put down that link probably in the chat or in the description and you can go through that. Okay. But literally all the information is available on the website. So you can actually go through the details and manage the entire process on your own. Please don't waste your money on consultancies. All right, let's look at the next question. Let me take another question before I tackle more Singapore related questions. Um, okay, let me see Rajeshree's question. So Rajeshri is saying, ma'am, can you please tell me, will the number of authors listed in review article play a role in publishing the article? So ideally, Rajeshri, the lesser number of authors, the better. Reason being, it increases the weightage of the authors because lesser number of authors means that more work or more contribution has been done by individual authors. If you have, say, sorry about that. If you have, say, 10 authors, that means individual contribution of each authors is less, right? But otherwise, in terms of authors, it doesn't have any role to play in the publication process. Okay, whether you have 10 authors or 2 authors, as long as your review article is of good quality, they will go ahead and publish it. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Okay, Shayan says, please make a detailed video for higher studies in Germany for bachelors. I'm now in 12th and going to attempt JE Advanced. Also tell me requirements. So Shayan, the reason why I don't recommend going for bachelors in Germany is because German education for undergrad is in German. Okay, the language is German. So if you want to study in Germany, I'd recommend you go for a master's program in Germany because undergrad education in Germany is in German language, which is going to be difficult for you. All right. So let's look at some other questions, please. Um, okay. Kiran, let me take Kiran's question. Um, I've completed 10th IB board from Canada recently. I wish to join NUS NTU. Do I need to serve the 3 or 6 year bond immediately after UG or we can serve the agreement or scholarship after PG as well? So Kiran, to answer your question, you can definitely get your bond deferred. You can complete your PG and then you can come back to Singapore and you can fulfill the requirements of your bond. Okay. All right, let's look at another question. Niharika. Hello, Dee. I'm planning to do my master's in US, spring 2025? Is it possible to get into good universities for spring uptake for a person who wants to pursue masters in the field of life sciences? So, hi Niharika, you're planning to do your masters in the US. Spring 2025 is great, but I feel you're slightly late into the process because, as far as my knowledge goes, spring 25 admissions will close very soon, probably in the next 1 to 2 months, or for some universities it might have already closed. Also, what happens is for spring admissions, the number of seats that are open are actually quite less. So if you still have time, definitely go ahead and apply for spring 25 admissions. But I would also recommend apply for fall 25 admissions as well. Reason being, you will be early in the process. This is a great time to start preparing for your fall 25 admissions, and the chances of you getting admits from good universities will increase because in fall admissions, the number of seats that are open are much higher. Okay, so I hope this helps. All right. So another question I have today, I'm getting a lot of Singapore-based questions for some reason. But okay, let me see. Shamsha is asking, ma'am, how to secure a PhD scholarship in NTU and NUS? So, Shamsha, when it comes to PhD scholarships, usually that is given by the university itself. These are research scholarships given by both NTU and NUS. So, if you do get admission into a PhD program, it is going to come with a scholarship and you don't have to necessarily apply for it separately. Okay. Okay, now I really want to take questions from someone new. I think I'm getting the same people who are asking me the questions. Okay, let me see. Swati, ma'am, could you please tell me the 3-year bond is after undergrad or postgrad? It is for both, Swati. For undergrad programs, also there is a 3-year bond. For postgraduate programs by research, also you can go for a 3-year bond. Okay. All right. Shreya is asking me a question. Hi, ma'am. Do you think I will good universities in the US with GRE score 300? So, Shreya, I would say 300 is an average GRE score, and with that, you might get into universities that are ranked somewhere between 200 to 300 global rankings. So, if that is something you're comfortable with, then you can aim for those universities in the US. Okay. All right. Another question from Priya. I've just started GRE preparation. So is it still possible to get good university admits? I've still not started working on SOP LOR. So Priya, this is completely fine if you've just started your GRE preparation. What I would recommend is try and give your exams by August or early September. Once you've completed your GRE, after that, you take the entire month to work on your SOP and LORs because these are really important documents and you want to make sure that you submit a very high quality application. And for that, these documents are going to play a crucial role. Okay. If you need a little bit more guidance, I have a course, I have SOP and LOR review programs, and I can really help you polish your documents. Okay. But you're nowhere late in the process if you're applying for fall 2025 admissions because most of the deadlines are late November or early December. So you will still have time to complete the rest of the requirements. Okay. All right. Let me take another question now, this time from Rajan. So Rajan is saying, ma'am, I go to spoken English class. I understand all sentence, but speaking in English is very difficult for me. Please send me a solution. So Rajan, I will give you a solution only when you tell me that, ma'am, I will work towards it. Okay. A lot of people take tips from me, then they don't work towards it. So then my tip goes for a waste and it's not going to help you. So, how can you improve your English speaking is only by practice. Okay. So, what are some of the things you'll have to do? First, I would recommend that you read a book. And when you're reading a book, right, read loudly. So, what will happen is that it will build your fluency in English speaking when you're reading loudly and, reading sentence by sentence. Okay. That should be the first step. After that, what you can do is say, if you're reading a book, if you're watching a TV show, stand in front of the mirror and then try to explain in 1 minute what was there in the movie, what was there in the TV show. This will again improve your English speaking skills, but you have to do this every day. You have to practice. After that, what you can do is start speaking in one to one conversation with a friend. in English. Or I've made a video in the past also as to how can you practice English speaking with live tutors, with AI tutors, literally with ChatGPT also you can actually practice your speaking skills as well. So do all of these things and slowly you will see an improvement in your English speaking. Okay? What is SPSS software, Anjita, if you could tell me? Rahul says, kindly make a video for scholarships for pursuing masters course based from Canada. Rahul, definitely I will try and address it. But if you're looking for scholarships and you need an immediate answer, please go ahead and use ChatGPT. All you need to do is type there, can you please recommend me some of the best scholarships for Indian students applying to master's program in so and so field in Canada? And it's actually going to give you a list of scholarships. Okay. So you can do this search literally on your own as well. Okay, let me look at Subhashish's question now. Hi, ma'am. I scored 95 in TOEFL and currently I'm working on my research proposal, although I have an old SOP and too good LOR. So, what should I do? I come from a middle class family. Should I move forward? So, Subhashi, definitely you can move forward. There is absolutely no problem with that. If you want to refurbish your SOP, you can refurbish it. What I would recommend is that you do a little bit of research to understand which colleges you can target because targeting the right college is important, correct? Because if your scores are something and then you target universities that have much higher requirements, then definitely you will get rejects. But if you apply to universities in your bracket, definitely chances of admission will be higher. In fact, Subhashish, in your case, I would highly recommend you try QS Apply Services. QS has come up with their own counseling sort of a service where they are able to give you guidance for free based on your scores. They are able to help you get admission in good universities. In your case, I think it's going to be very useful. What I've seen is that when it comes to QS, they're not targeting the top tier universities, right? They target mid tier universities, etc. So that is why in your case, it can be quite useful. Okay. Danish is asking a good question. Danish is saying, in order to get admission in US, Europe, Singapore for a PhD after masters, is it really necessary to get some conference or journal publication and also without a GRE score? So Danish, you can still get admission into a PhD program if you're able to show some research exposure because that is important. Whether you've managed to publish a paper or present it in a conference, that is secondary, although it does add a lot of value. I cannot discount the fact it does add a lot of weightage, but that doesn't mean if you don't have a publication, you will not get admission. But showing some research experience is important. Since you don't have a publication, I would recommend at least go ahead and give a GRE because it will strengthen your application. Otherwise, overall application can be a bit weak. Okay. Um, okay, let me see any other questions. I think another question is Hussein Ahmed, ma'am, I'm from Pakistan. Please tell me I go to abroad for taking job, but my English is not good. So please tell some tricks for improving English in 2 months because 2 months remaining for going. So Hussein, I actually have a 5 week course where I teach you from scratch as to how to improve your English and that to professional English communication. So how to communicate with colleagues in your office, how to participate in group discussions, how to improve your presentation skills, how to speak in English to strangers, start new conversations. So if you have less time, you can definitely go through the course. Otherwise, I have made a lot of videos on my channel as well that talks about how can you improve your English, which you can go through. Okay. So it's important that if you're planning to go abroad, you work both on your listening skills, speaking skills, as well as writing skills in English. All right. Hi, Barbara. Barbara says, thank you for your help. I don't know your name. I'm a subscriber because I'm doing my PG thesis and I'm not English mother tongue. Thanks a lot. Very useful channel. Hi, Barbara. Thank you so much. My name is Neha Agrawal and I'm glad that you found our channel useful. Recently, I've put up a lot of videos related to research and AI tools, and I think they've gotten a very good response. So I'm glad that you are finding the channel useful, and I will continue posting more videos related to research that can help you out. Thanks, Barbara. Priya is asking how long will it take to prepare for TOEFL? So, Priya, this varies from person to person based on what is the level of their English skills. So, what I would recommend is that you take a TOEFL practice test, right? And you see how you're performing in that. If you're scoring lesser than 100, then I would recommend that you spend at least 1 to 1.5 months preparing for TOEFL exam. If you're scoring already above 100, then with lesser preparation also, you will be able to manage. So give a practice test, see where you stand, and accordingly spend that much time in the preparation. All right. Okay, let me look at another question. Ma'am, what is the minimum percentage in class 12 CBSE board we should get to take admission at NUS Singapore? Do we need good pre-board results as well, ma'am? So yes, it will be better if you have good pre-board results as well because sorry about that, you have to submit your predictive scores to the university first. But in order to get admission at NUS Singapore, I would say try to get as high percentage or possible. A percentage like 98, 99 really boosts your chances of admission. But minimum, I would say 95, 96 is required. So ideally try and aim for that for your CBSE boards. Okay. Shamiullah is asking, ma'am, how to write a paper? Want to write a paper, feeling hesitate and not getting confident. Give me some suggestions from scratch. So, Shamiullah, I've made an entire video on this as to how to go about writing your research paper, correct? So, I have a video on this on the channel. In fact, with the help of AI tools, now writing a paper is actually also not that difficult and you can really get started with it. So, do go ahead and check out that video. And if you have any specific questions, you can reach out to me. Okay. Okay, let me take another question. Pets World. Okay, let me see. Hi, Neha. I've been watching your videos since few months. Also took up one of your course on research writing. Just tell me if it's advisable to try a PhD position abroad when almost 38 years old. So I would say that it's never too late to take your education. I remember when I was in Singapore doing my master's, there was a 35-year-old person who had come there to do their PhD as well. So it just, if you're 38 years old, it just means that you have much more experience than others. So it's absolutely not late if you're able to prepare a good application, if you're able to justify the reason as to why do you want to do a PhD right now, why not before in your career? And if you're able to show all the qualifications that you have, then definitely you'll be able to get admits. Okay. Congratulations on reaching 200K. Thank you so much. As a gift, could you correct my SOPs? I'm sorry, but that won't be possible to do it for free because it takes a lot of time of my team and myself to correct SOPs. We literally spend 3 to 4 hours in making sure that your SOP is perfect and ready for submission. So you can definitely go ahead and go for our SOP review program, and I can assure you we'll do a good job. And you can definitely check our program out. Okay. Um, Hermit is asking, क्या अभी admission हो सकता है for MBBS in Singapore? You'll have to check out the dates. Usually the admissions happen twice in a year, January and August. So please check out the dates. Okay. What is a good GPA for pursuing masters in NUS NTU? Can I get with 8.5? So when you're applying for masters, Ananya, sorry about that. When you're applying for masters, GPA is only one of the requirements, right? They're going to look at your entire profile. So just by based on GPA, I can't tell you whether you'll get admission or not, but it's not a bad GPA. And if your profile is good, it's definitely worth trying for admission. Okay. Cheyenne, this question that you're asking. So Cheyenne is saying, ma'am, if you don't think Germany is a good option for bachelor's, please tell me which countries will be good for a computer science degree. I'm not too much financially strong, so suggest me scholarships. So Cheyenne, this is also a great question that you can ask on ChatGPT, and you will get answers. For undergrad programs, unfortunately, there are not a lot of scholarships. There are scholarships available, but not many. So you need to have a very strong profile in case you want a scholarship. Okay, you can consider countries like Singapore, US, UK, Canada, or and other countries in Europe as well, and all of them are going to have scholarship options. But for computer science degree, I would highly recommend US that way because the number of jobs are plenty in the US that way. Yeah. Priya is asking, ma'am, is University of Colorado bold or ambitious? My profile is 6 month internship in third year. I've been working last 1 year, CGPA 9.5, no research experience. So Priya, I strictly do not believe in profile evaluations because I feel it is the most incorrect way to guide somebody. I have made a video in the past that talks about how exactly are you supposed to choose your universities and what is the step-by-step process you should follow. Based on whatever you've shared with me, you can definitely try and apply for Colorado Boulder. But whether you'll get admission or not, this is something I can't tell you, and only the admissions committee is going to decide, right? So please reach out to people on LinkedIn, people from your college, see what kind of profile they have and which universities have they got an admission in. That is going to give you a much better understanding. Okay. Danish is asking, in case I manage to get some conference publication by Q4 this year, do I still need to go for GRE? I'm currently pursuing my master's and targeting fall 25. I will leave that choice up to you, Danish, because see, not a lot of universities are asking for GRE scores nowadays and it's optional. So in case you're applying to universities where the GRE requirement is optional, you can skip it. But if you feel that, yes, if I give the GRE, it's going to strengthen my application, then go ahead and do it. Okay. So these are things that you will have to take a call on, right? People can only advise you, but depending on the time that you have and how strong an application you want to build, you will have to take that call. All right. So, everyone, thank you so much for participating in this live today. And I hope I've answered most of your questions. Now, if you have any further doubts, any further questions, you can drop your comments below and I'll be more than happy to address them for you. And I love the fact that all of you came up to attend this live today and had so many questions to ask. So I'm really glad. And I promise you, I'll start doing these lives more often and I'll try to clear your doubts. All right. So thank you for being here. It was absolutely great interacting with all of you, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much. Bye and take care.